Let's start with a truth many migraine sufferers already know. Stress doesn't just feel bad, it rewires your brain. And when it comes to migraines, stress is one of the most silent but powerful triggers. Here's why. When you're stressed, whether from work, relationships, deadlines, or even emotional overload, your body activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis. This chain reaction releases cortisol, the primary stress hormone, which prepares your body to fight or flee. That might sound helpful, but in a migraine-prone brain, it's not. Cortisol changes blood vessel tone, leading to constriction or dilation, neurotransmitter balance, especially serotonin and dopamine, inflammatory pathways that prime your nerves for pain, muscle tension, particularly in the neck, scalp, and shoulders. Even worse, stress doesn't always cause an immediate migraine. For many people, it's the letdown period, after the stress resolves, that the migraine appears. This phenomenon is known as the weekend migraine, or letdown headache. Here's how it works. You're under pressure all week, tight, focused, flooded with cortisol. Friday comes, you relax. Cortisol levels crash, blood vessels shift, the nervous system drops into parasympathetic mode, and your body, ironically, lets the migraine through. This cycle trains your body to expect pain when it finally relaxes. What makes this worse? Chronic low-level stress. It's the background noise of modern life, never intense enough to notice, but constant enough to wear you down. And when paired with poor sleep, skipped meals, or hormonal changes, the risk multiplies. Early warning signs of a stress-triggered migraine may include jaw clenching or tight shoulders, mood shifts or anxiety spikes, brain fog or trouble focusing, sudden fatigue or yawning, eye pressure or light sensitivity. Managing stress doesn't mean avoiding all tension, it means building resilience into your daily life. In migraine science, one key word explains why some people get migraines more easily than others: sensitization. It's not just about how much stress you experience, it's about how your brain adapts to it over time. Let's break that down. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. If it's exposed to stress repeatedly, especially without resolution, it doesn't just cope, it rewires. And in migraine-prone individuals, that rewiring leads to a lower threshold for pain and sensory input. This phenomenon is called central sensitization. What does it mean? The nervous system becomes hyper-reactive stimuli that were once tolerable, light, noise, smells, become triggering. Minor stressors can now tip the scale toward a full-blown migraine. The trigeminal nerve system, responsible for face and head sensation, becomes overexcitable. Think of it like a car alarm that used to go off only if someone broke in. Now it goes off if a leaf lands on the hood. That's a sensitized brain. And it's not just physical sensations. Emotional stress, skipped meals, poor posture, or even multitasking can become threats in the eyes of a brain stuck in fight or flight mode. Why does this happen? Long-term stress elevates cortisol and glutamate, two chemicals that, when constantly present, make brain cells more likely to fire, even when they shouldn't. Over time, this creates a brain that's inflamed, overstimulated, and eager to react. How can you tell if you're sensitized? Frequent migraines without clear external triggers, increasing sensitivity to lights, sound, or smells, feeling wired and tired, trouble calming down after small stressors, increased pain from everyday sensations, combing hair, wearing sunglasses. The good news? Sensitization isn't permanent. With the right strategies, you can retrain your nervous system. Start by building habits that reduce allostatic load, the wear and tear of stress. That includes consistent sleep and meal schedules, gentle movement like yoga or walking, mindfulness or deep breathing, identifying hidden sources of pressure, doom scrolling, toxic conversations, cluttered environments. You may think you're getting enough sleep, but for people with migraines, it's not just about the number of hours. It's about the quality, consistency, and timing of sleep. Because when sleep falters, your brain's ability to defend itself against pain collapses. Here's the science. The brain has its own detox system called the glymphatic system. It flushes out neurotoxins, including those that build up during stress, only during deep sleep, especially during the slow wave stage. If your sleep is fragmented, shallow, or poorly timed, this cleansing doesn't happen effectively. The result? A brain that wakes up already inflamed, hypersensitive, and prone to migraine. Sleep disruptions trigger migraines through multiple pathways. They increase levels of calcitonin gene-related peptide, CGRP, a major pain molecule in migraine. They suppress melatonin, a hormone that regulates both sleep and pain perception. They impair the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that manages circadian rhythm, appetite, hormones, and, you guessed it, headache processing. And it's not just lack of sleep. Oversleeping, especially after periods of deprivation, can also be a trigger. This rebound effect is common on weekends or after stressful weeks. Poor sleep hygiene creates a vicious cycle. Stress disrupts sleep. Poor sleep increases stress hormones. Both increase migraine risk. Pain disrupts future sleep, and the loop continues. Signs your sleep may be sabotaging your brain: waking up with a headache, feeling unrested after 7 to 8 hours, trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, heavy dreams or tossing and turning, relying on caffeine to function in the morning. To restore truly migraine-protective sleep, go to bed and wake up at the same time daily, even on weekends. Avoid screens 1 hour before bed. Blue light suppresses melatonin. Limit caffeine after noon. Create a wind-down routine. Dim lights, calming music, gentle stretches. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, conditions that support deep sleep. Even if you don't cross time zones, your body might be living in constant jet lag. It's called social jet lag, and it's one of the most underestimated migraine triggers in modern life. Let's explain. Your brain runs on a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that regulates everything from sleep and hormone release to digestion and pain sensitivity. Ideally, this clock follows the natural day-night cycle, but our social lives often push us off schedule. Late-night work, weekend sleep-ins, inconsistent meals, scrolling before bed. These habits all shift your internal clock, and each shift comes with consequences for a migraine-prone brain. Here's what happens during social jet lag. Melatonin release is delayed, disrupting sleep quality. Cortisol peaks shift, affecting mood and alertness. Body temperature, digestion, and pain thresholds become desynchronized. The hypothalamus, which coordinates these rhythms, becomes confused. When your internal timing is off, the brain becomes more vulnerable to triggers, even those that normally wouldn't cause issues. Let's take an example. You wake at 6 a.m. on weekdays, but sleep in until 10 a.m. on weekends. That 4-hour shift is the equivalent of flying from New York to London twice a week. Now imagine what that does to your brain over months or years. Signs of social jet lag-induced migraines, headaches on weekends or after holidays, waking up groggy despite long sleep, mood swings or brain fog after schedule changes, migraines following late nights or skipped meals. To prevent this, keep a regular sleep-wake cycle, even on weekends, 1-hour variation max. Eat meals at consistent times each day. Get morning sunlight exposure to reset your circadian rhythm. Avoid long naps in the afternoon. They can shift your night sleep. Use dim lighting in the evening to cue your brain for rest. Remember, your migraine brain thrives on rhythm and stability. Social jet lag creates chaos in that rhythm, often silently. Migraines aren't just physical, they're deeply emotional. And one of the most silent contributors to chronic migraines is stress you're not even aware of. Repressed emotions and unresolved tension. Here's what the research shows. When you suppress anger, anxiety, grief, or fear instead of processing them, your body doesn't forget. Those emotions get stored in the nervous system, especially in the form of muscular tension, shallow breathing, and autonomic dysregulation. This emotional backlog builds over time, and for people with migraine-prone brains, it often spills out through somatic symptoms, physical manifestations of inner stress. In other words, your body talks when your mind won't. Here's how emotional stress becomes a migraine. Chronic suppression keeps your sympathetic nervous system activated. Your muscles, especially neck, jaw, scalp, remain tense. Your breathing becomes shallow, reducing oxygen flow to the brain. The trigeminal nerve, already sensitive in migraine sufferers, becomes hyperreactive. Your brain stays in threat mode, constantly on alert, even during rest. This leads to low-level inflammation, poor sleep, and decreased pain tolerance. Over time, even small triggers become intolerable because your nervous system is already maxed out. Signs your migraines may be emotionally driven: headaches after arguments or emotional events, feeling fine mentally but tight physically, frequent neck, jaw tightness or clenching, trouble relaxing even in calm environments, tearfulness or irritability just before a migraine hits. What helps? Mind-body practices. Meditation, yoga, and breathwork can help you reconnect with your body and gently release stored tension. Emotional journaling. Writing down unspoken thoughts allows for safe emotional processing. Therapy or support groups. Talking with a professional can uncover unconscious stress patterns. Somatic tools. Progressive muscle relaxation or body scans calm the nervous system from the inside out. Remember, migraines are not all in your head, but some of the roots grow from deep emotional ground. Have you ever felt your migraines start at the back of your neck or behind your eyes? That's not a coincidence. For many, migraines are closely linked to muscle tension, especially in the upper body, what we call the tension triangle. This triangle includes the neck, jaw, and shoulders, and it's often ground zero for pain that radiates into the head. Here's how it works. When you're under stress, your body responds with a muscle-guarding reflex. You unconsciously clench your jaw, lift your shoulders, or stiffen your neck. This restricts blood flow, compresses nerves, and sends a cascade of tension upward, directly to the head. In migraine-prone individuals, this tension interacts with the trigeminal nerve system, which runs across the face, temples, and behind the eyes. The result? Tension becomes amplified as migraine pain. Let's look at the key components. Neck tension. Poor posture. Think phones and laptops. Stress and weak cervical muscles lead to tightness in the suboccipitals, tiny muscles at the skull base. These can pinch nerves and cause headaches that radiate forward. Jaw clenching. Bruxism. Whether from anxiety or sleep stress, jaw clenching overworks the masseter and temporalis muscles, leading to temporal headaches, facial pain, and even ear pressure. Shoulder guarding. High shoulders reduce circulation and create trigger points that refer pain upward. Many people carry emotional stress in their traps without realizing it. Early signs of the tension triangle include tightness or stiffness in neck, jaw, clicking or pain while chewing, headaches after using screens or driving pain that shifts sides or worsens with movement, relief from massage or stretching. So, how do you break this pain loop? Ergonomics. Adjust your desk, screen height, and posture. Jaw awareness. Use reminders to relax your face and avoid clenching. Neck stretches. Try chin tucks, slow rotations, and gentle massage. Heat therapy. Apply warmth to tight areas to promote circulation. Body scanning. Pause during your day to notice and release held tension. Migraines don't always begin in the brain. They often start in the body. Let's talk about a hormone you've heard of, but might underestimate: cortisol. Known as the body's primary stress hormone, cortisol is essential for survival. But when its natural rhythm is disrupted, it can quietly lay the groundwork for migraines. Here's what a healthy cortisol curve looks like. Morning spike. Cortisol rises sharply within 30-45 minutes after waking. This gives you energy, focus, and motivation. Gradual decline. It steadily decreases throughout the day, reaching its lowest point at night to prepare for sleep. But chronic stress, poor sleep, and emotional overload can flatten or invert this curve, leading to cortisol dysregulation. This means you may feel wired but tired in the evening. You may crash mid-morning or mid-afternoon. You may wake up feeling anxious, foggy, or with a headache. This abnormal cortisol rhythm mimics migraine prodrome, the early warning phase before pain starts. It also worsens blood vessel instability, neurotransmitter imbalance, especially serotonin and norepinephrine, sensitivity to light, noise, and pain. What makes this more dangerous is how invisible it can be. Many people say, "I'm not stressed. I feel fine in the morning." But feeling fine doesn't mean your nervous system is regulated. Cortisol may be rising too early, spiking too late, or never declining properly. Here's how to spot cortisol-related migraine patterns. Migraines that strike upon waking headaches during hormonal transitions or menstrual cycles, difficulty falling asleep despite feeling exhausted, afternoon energy crashes or cravings, irritability, shakiness, or blurred vision before migraines. Supporting your cortisol curve is a long game, but it pays off. Try getting bright sunlight within 1 hour of waking, avoiding caffeine before breakfast, eating a protein-rich meal in the morning, limiting high-stimulation activities after 8 p.m., practicing breathwork or yoga nidra to lower evening cortisol. Cortisol doesn't lie. It just reflects your internal rhythm. When you reset the rhythm, you reduce the chaos your brain has to navigate. You may think you're getting enough sleep, but if you're waking up frequently at night, your brain might disagree. It's not just about total hours. What truly matters for migraine prevention is your sleep architecture, the quality and flow of your sleep cycles. Let's break it down. A healthy night of sleep follows predictable cycles. Light sleep, N1, N2. Deep sleep, N3 or slow wave sleep. REM sleep, dream stage. These cycles repeat every 90 minutes. Each stage has a job. Deep sleep restores the body. REM sleep processes emotions and memory, and light sleep transitions between. But here's the catch. Each time you wake up, whether fully or partially, your brain may restart the cycle or fail to enter deeper stages at all. These awakenings, caused by stress, snoring, pain, light, or even subconscious tension, break the healing rhythm. Why does this matter for migraine? Pain processing gets stuck. Deep sleep reduces central nervous system excitability. Without enough of it, your pain pathways stay on high alert. Your brain can't reset. Neuroinflammation increases. The glymphatic system clears waste during deep sleep. If sleep is shallow or fragmented, inflammation rises, especially around migraine-sensitive areas like the trigeminal complex. CGRP spikes. Poor sleep increases levels of calcitonin gene-related peptide, CGRP, a key player in migraine attacks. You might notice waking up with a headache or eye pain, dreams that feel heavy, strange, or interrupted, needing multiple naps or caffeine to function, feeling more sensitive to triggers the next day, even minor ones. How can you improve sleep architecture? Avoid alcohol. It may knock you out but fragments deep sleep. Stay cool. Body temperature must drop slightly to maintain deeper stages. Reduce pre-sleep stimulation. No phones, bright lights, or intense discussions an hour before bed. Try magnesium glycinate or L-theanine. Check with your doctor first. Consistent bedtime and wake-up teaches your brain when to enter deep states. Remember, healing doesn't happen in broken sleep. If your brain can't rest, it can't defend itself from the next migraine wave. After exploring the hidden impact of stress, poor sleep, emotional tension, and modern schedules, one truth becomes clear. Migraines thrive in chaos and weaken in rhythm. Your brain isn't just reacting randomly, it's responding to patterns. And when those patterns are stable, predictable, and restorative, your nervous system becomes less reactive, less inflamed, and more resilient. This is how we build a migraine-resistant brain. Let's recap the pillars of that brain. Regulated nervous system. A calm nervous system doesn't overreact to minor stressors. Practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, and gentle movement train your vagus nerve to recover faster from daily stress. Consistent sleep-wake cycles. Sleeping at the same time each night and waking up consistently reinforces your circadian rhythm, optimizing hormone release and pain sensitivity. Emotionally honest living. Repressed emotions create chronic tension. Journaling, therapy, or open conversation help metabolize stress before it becomes physical pain. Muscle awareness. Jaw clenching, neck tension, and shoulder guarding are red flags. Daily checks and physical relaxation techniques reduce referred pain that fuels migraines. Blood sugar and meal timing. Skipping meals or eating erratically spikes stress hormones. Stable blood sugar means a more stable brain. Sunlight and morning exposure. Natural light early in the day resets your internal clock. It boosts serotonin, improves sleep quality, and decreases brain fog. Digital boundaries. Scrolling at midnight or checking email before bed overstimulates the brain. Choose rest, not reactivity. You don't have to be perfect, just predictable. Your brain is an organ of rhythm, and the more consistent your daily inputs, the more it stops scanning for danger. That means fewer attacks, shorter durations, and reduced sensitivity over time. Start with one rhythm today. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Eat breakfast within an hour of waking. Spend 10 minutes outside in the morning. Breathe deeply before replying to stress. These small shifts create biological safety, and safety is the antidote to sensitization. Migraines may feel unpredictable, but your power lies in your patterns.